I forgot to mention, go Mariners.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal, Mr. Butter, coming back at you again. I'm recording this video on the day that the 35th anniversary Jordan 5s were released. I kind of have some mixed feelings about this one, but we'll get into all that. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at these 35th anniversary Jordan 5s. And since I was grabbing a pair of 5s today, I just used this occasion to throw on the great 5s that I grabbed. These released not long ago, and it has been a wonderful year for 5s, but this might be my favorite pair so far. Let me know what your favorite 5 to drop this year has been. What is happening, everybody? It is wonderful to be back here with y'all again. It feels like it has been a long time since I've been able to go in store and pick up a Jordan the day of release. I know it's probably only been a month or something like that, but it just feels like there's been a long break where the Jordan brand kind of quieted down a little bit. I know we saw the Tokyos drop, we've seen plenty of heat drop, but it's not necessarily pairs that were GRs or made in high quantities, so it wasn't something that I had at my local Finish Line. So I just enjoyed going to the store and actually talking to the people there, just taking a little drive, grabbing my shoes. I don't know if I'm just old or what, but that's my favorite way to do it. So I was happy to be able to grab another Jordan Retro again. We've seen a lot of really great Jordan 5s released this year. It is the 35th year anniversary of when the Jordan 5 was first released. The box matches the shoes. Whenever I saw the pictures of the shoes, I really liked the way that they looked. I am a fan of white sneakers, especially Jordan Retros, even like Adidas Retros. I just like all white sneakers with like a different accent color on it. And from the images, that's what this looked like. So it definitely had my attention because of that. And I'm just a fan of Jordan 5. So I'm glad I was able to get these. I did use some status rewards, so I got some money off, and that always feels good as well. The lid has a weird texture to it, and it's because it's reflective. And then we've also got like a white or a gray looking Jumpman on the top of it, and we've got some Nike Air branding there on the side. It is the flip top lid, not the kind that has a lid that comes all the way off the box. And then on the base of the box, you see that it's gray, but it's got some matching light pink paint splatter. And I think it's a really cool looking box. The tag reads Air Jordan 5 Retro OG. The colors are white, medium soft pink, and black. I went true to size on this pair and just grabbed my regular size 10. And enough of my box talk and my yapping.
These are all right.
A lot of times people complain that I love every pair of shoes that I look at on this channel. And most of the time that is true because I tend to only grab pairs of shoes that I like the look of. And I really do like the colorway of this shoe. I really like the color blocking. It's just a classic looking Jordan 5. And by the images, I was just assuming at first that this upper was just a nice white leather. But I realized not too long ago that this entire upper is a reflective material. And my first thought whenever I heard that was just, why would they do that? And another thing that really had me scratching my head just wondering what they were thinking is they're calling this colorway the 35th anniversary Jordan 5. And whenever I saw that a pink colored Jordan 5 was releasing in October, I just immediately thought that it was for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. However, Jordan Brand says absolutely nothing about that. Instead, they're saying that this is to celebrate the 35th anniversary of the Jordan 5. And I feel like they just kind of missed their mark on that one. This one does not make me think anything that has to do with a significant anniversary like that. And on the flip side, they could have called those Fire Red 5s the 35th anniversary Fire Reds. Like, they could have just thrown 35th anniversary on the Fire Reds. They could have done it for the Black Metallics. They could have even done it for the Grapes, and people would have been like, okay, that makes sense. But instead of all those classic OG colorways, which they knocked out of the park, I mean, the materials, I love them. The execution, I love them. I just think some of these 5s from this year came out so well. But instead of using one of those really good, iconic, historic colorways of a 5, they decided to call this one the 35th anniversary Jordan 5. And not only do I think that that's not fitting, but I also just think that they really missed the mark, because this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You're seeing the pink ribbons everywhere. We're seeing athletes wear pink jerseys, pink shoes, and that sort of thing. And actually, my kid just had a soccer game, and the opponents wore pink jerseys in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I just feel like they really swung and missed with calling this the 35th year anniversary 5. Let me know what you all think. But I've griped about that long enough. I don't need to keep talking about that all day. Like I said, I really love the colorway. I don't understand why they decided to call it what they did. And I really don't care for an entire upper being a reflective material, especially when we've been getting such good leather on our other white Jordan 5s this year. I have never held on to a pair of the Green Bean 5s, and the whole reason is just because an all reflective upper just doesn't really speak to me. And with that being said, I feel the same about this pair. I would have liked these a whole lot more if they were white leather and not some synthetic white reflective material. But getting into the review, it does have a lot of elements that just look like a classic 5, such as this outsole. It is an icy blue translucent rubber. You can see the red Jumpman, or maybe that's a pink Jumpman, there underneath the forefoot peeking through, and that's all herringbone traction under the forefoot as well as underneath of the heel. And that icy blue rubber isn't like super blue. It almost looks a little bit yellowed already, but not that I mind, not that it looks like it's pre-aged. It's just not as blue as a lot of recent Jordan 5s that we've seen. Then at the midfoot, we do have our Nike branding, and that is in a black color. And then we also have some black accents up under the toe as well. Then as we come up to the midsole area, we can see more of that translucent blue rubber, and that comes up to meet some black and pink painted foam. It seems like the paint looks fairly decent. I did see a couple of flaws when I was looking close, but it's in a matte finish, and I really like the colors up against each other. Like, I think this colorway looks great. Like always, we do get a visible air unit underneath the heel. And then as we get to the upper, I don't really know how to explain how this feels. If you've had the Green Beans, actually, if you've had a Jordan 5 that has the reflective tongue, the whole upper feels like that, and I am not a big fan of how that feels. It feels stiff, and whenever you wear it, it kind of feels like crunchy, like it'll get real significant creases in it. I think that this shoe is going to age terribly. Like, it always shows up scuffs really bad whenever you scratch this reflective layer on it. And on top of that, I feel like the shape of these, it just seems like they're kind of lumpy. I don't even know if it can pick it up on camera, but you just see a lot of waves and stuff on these, and I didn't have that issue on the Grape 5s or the Fire Red 5s from this year. We do have our translucent rubber netting here on the side panels, and underneath of that we have a white mesh. And one of my favorite details about this shoe is the 23 embroidered on the side. I think it looks really good with that pink stitching and then kind of the black shadow effect on it. Once again, Jordan Brand gave us Nike Air branding on a non-OG, which I don't mind at all. I've heard some people say that it should strictly be OGs. Some people think it should be OGs and collabs. I say throw it on everything. I think that Nike Air looks good and that pink stitching on the back. We have the same netting that we saw on the side panels at the base of the tongue, and then these just have some flat white laces in them. Then we got that same lace lock that we always get on Jordan 5s, but the button piece of it is in that soft pink color, and then the outside of it is just clear plastic. I think that looks pretty cool with the black Nike branding on that little button. I always say it when I review 5s, but I take that outside piece off and just leave it so it's the little button on there. I just feel like it's too bulky to leave it on. At the top of the tongue, we have a gray reflective material, and then we see that light pink Jumpman embroidered on. Another thing I really like about this pair is that these accents going up the laces are a white plastic. A lot of times you see that in a contrasting color, but I think it looks really clean just keeping that a white color to match the upper. On the back of the tongue, we do see that it spells out Air Jordan upside down. And then our sock liner is a pink material. It's just that soft cotton material like we're used to getting on Jordan Retros. It looks like our insole is a black color and it's got some white Nike Air branding down on it. All right, well, that was a pretty quick rundown of these shoes. I am not going to keep this pair in the collection. I'll just be honest with y'all. I did really like these before I knew that the upper was all reflective. I'm not trying to knock them. I think it's a great colorway, but I'm just not a fan of uppers that have this material for the entirety. I love when we get little accents of reflective material, but I just think these things are going to feel stiff, and I don't think they'll age well at all. But aside from that, I love the colorway. I love the color blocking. Calling this the 35th year anniversary Jordan 5 really doesn't make a lick of sense to me, but I'm not going to beat that dead horse anymore. What I like about this pair as well is I think that they should be easy to get. These should be available for quite some time. They came in full family sizing, and it looked like my store had a ton of them in, and I think they're all sitting online as well. Once again, I'm not trying to knock anybody that likes these. These just aren't my cup of tea, and it simply is because of that material that they gave us on the upper. But anyhow, let me know what you all think about these. Let me know if you've picked up any pairs recently. I think there's a couple more retros that are set to release in the coming weeks from the Jordan brand, so I'll have more content to come. I appreciate you all tuning in tremendously, and I will catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.